Redox titrations. Redox titrations are how many types, ma? Mainly the redox titrations are oxidation reduction titrations are 3 types. One is permanganometric titrations. The second one is dichrometric titration. The third one is iodometric or iodometric. Sorry, iodometric and iodometric titrations. Means here the titration is against with iodine solution and hyposolution. The type of titrations are called two types. It is iodometric and iodometric titrations. Okay, first we'll discuss about one by one. The first one we'll discuss about permanganometric titrations. The first one, what is the first one? Permanganometric titrations. Permanganometric titrations. Permanganometric titration means what it is? Mainly we are using KMnO4. Permanganometric means potassium permanganate, KMnO4. So KMnO4, one of the solution. What is the solution we are using? KMnO4 using permanganometric titration. So this permanganometric titrations are two types. That is, the first one is KMnO4 versus oxalic acid. Means here KMnO4 we are taking in burette and oxalic acid we are taking in conical flask. KMnO4 versus oxalic acid. Oxalic acid formula H2C2O4. See here the titration against with KMnO4 versus oxalic acid. In that oxalic acid is known concentration, means it is that oxalic acid concentration they will give. That's why it is called oxalic acid is called standard solution. What is the meaning of standard solution? The solution which concentration is known, means known concentration solutions are called standard solutions. By using standard solution, unknown solution concentration or strength, we need to find out. So in permanganometric titration, the first one is KMnO4, potassium permanganate versus oxalic acid. See, this titration is taking place in acidic medium. That's why the externally we are adding some amount of dilute HCl we are adding. See this reaction, how the reaction is taking place. Let's see. What is the ionic form of KMnO4? MnO4 minus. The ionic form of KMnO4 is MnO4 minus. Oxalic acid ionic form C2O4 2 minus. Oxalate ion C2O4 2 minus. In acidic medium MnO4 minus converted into Mn plus 2. These are the products. And C2O4 2 minus is reducing agent, is converted into carbon dioxide. This is the skeleton equation. Okay, this is the reaction is taking place when the titration against with KMnO4 versus oxalic acid. This is the skeleton equation. This skeleton equation we need to balance by using oxidation number method. Okay, if you are observed that C2O4 2 minus, how many moles? Here 2 carbon atoms are present, then 2 CO2 you have to take. If you are completely balancing this equation, then like already we did this balanced equation in acidic medium, we did. Means 2 moles of MnO4 minus reacts with 5 moles of oxalic acid, forms 2 moles of Mn plus 2 and 10 moles of carbon dioxide. And remaining hydrogens and oxygen and hydrogen atoms we need to balance. So for balancing of oxygen and hydrogen atoms, here 8 water molecule will come, then 16 H plus. See, you have to use the oxidation number method and balance. Again, if you are doing that, means it takes a lot of time. That's why directly I write on that equation. So 2 moles of MnO4 minus. So KMnO4, how many moles we are using? 2 moles. Oxalic acid, 5 moles. So in competitive exam like NEET and JEE mains, For example, the reaction is taking place between KMnO4 and oxalic acid. Means the volumetric analysis or redox titration is taking place in between KMnO4 versus oxalic acid. If oxalic acid is 1 mole, so in the exam, how many moles of oxalic acid they given? 1 mole of oxalic acid react with how many moles of KMnO4? That kind of questions also they are asking. See in this, it is 2 moles, 5 moles. It is 1 mole, then how many moles? Do cross multiplication, then 2 by 5 moles. So how many moles of KMnO4 required? 2 by 5 moles of KMnO4 react with 1 mole of oxalic acid, or 1 mole of oxalic acid react with 2 by 5 moles of KMnO4. That kind of question they are asking in a NEET and JEE mains examination. Okay, see here the titration is against. Titration is going on against KMnO4 versus oxalic acid. KMnO4 we are taking in burette. Oxalic acid we are taking in conical flask. Oxalic acid we are taking in a conical flask. So in this reaction or in this titration indicator, what is the indicator we are using? KMnO4. KMnO4 acts as self-indicator. KMnO4 acts as a self-indicator. When the titration is going against KMnO4 versus oxalic acid by the addition of KMnO4 dropwise to the oxalic acid solution, then what happens from the end point? At end point, what happens from colorless to pale pink color. Pale pink color will form. If colorless to pale pink color is formed, then immediately what happens now? The number of equivalents of KMnO4 is equal to number of equivalents of oxalic acid. Means the reaction is exactly neutralized. Then immediately we have to stop the titration and we have to count the volume of KMnO4. How much volume of KMnO4 we are added to the known concentration and known volume of oxalic acid. Then what is the formula? For balance, for finding the strength of KMnO4 or molarity of KMnO4, M1V1 by N1 is equal to M2V2 by N2. M1V1 N1 belongs to KMnO4. What is that formula? Formula is equal to M1V1 by N1 is equal to M2V2 by N2. See for this M1V1 N1 related to KMnO4 and this related to oxalic acid H2C2O4. So in the question M1 we need to find out. V1 while doing the titration, see this is the burette. This burette is filled with KMnO4 solution. And this KMnO4 solution we are adding dropwise to the oxalic acid solution. For example, in the question oxalic acid solution 0.05 molar given and its volume is 10 ml. 10 ml of 0.05 molar oxalic acid we are taking in conical flask. Then you are running the volume, maybe like here 1, 5, 10 up to 50 ml volume of the burette. How much volume? What is the volume of burette? 50 ml. Just by running that solution, maybe you are run that 12 ml of KMnO4 you are added. Then the volume of KMnO4 from the burette we need to calculate. It will comes. And M1 how much more in the stoichiometric balanced equation? 2 moles. M2 oxalic acid strength how much they given in the question? 0.05 molar. And V2 how much I took? The volume of oxalic acid in conical flask 10 ml. And N2 how many moles of oxalic acid we are used? 5 moles. Then M1 we need to find out. How to find out M1? So M1 V1 by M1 is equal to M2 V2 by M2. Then M1 is equal to M2 V2 by N2 into N1 by V1. Then M1 will comes. So this type of reactions are called redox titrations. This type of reactions are called redox titrations. So the redox titrations are belongs to volumetric analysis. Understood? So the first one is thermometric titration. The first one is KMnO4 versus oxalic acid. So in that, what is the indicator? Here we are not adding any indicator, we are not taking any indicator because the KMnO4 acts as a self-indicator. At the end point, what happens? The solution means oxalic acid solution is colorless, turns to pale pink color. It turns to pale pink color. And immediately pale pink color is formed, means immediately we have to stop doing the titration. Then we have to count the how much volume of KMnO4 we are added. That is V1 and N1 and N2 we are taking from stoichiometric balanced equation. Then M1 we are calculated. M2 value they will give in the question. V1 how much we are used? 10 ml we are used. Otherwise 20 ml also you take. Then automatically V1 will be increases more. If 20 ml, then approximately regarding the 20 ml, how much quantity? More quantity of KMnO4 solution we need to use. But standardly how much? 10 ml is enough for doing the volumetric analysis. Okay students, so the first thermometric titration is KMnO4 versus oxalic acid. The second one is, let's see, for all cases the formulas are same. M1 V1 by N1 is equal to M2 V2 by N2 in terms of molarity. In terms of normality, do you want means NaVa, otherwise N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. The second one is KMnO4 versus Morse salt. Morse salt. This Morse salt is also known as ferrous ammonium sulfate. Ferrous ammonium sulfate. Its formula, ferrous ammonium sulfate formula, FeSO4, NH4 twice SO4, 6H2O. Okay, this is the ferrous sulfate. In that ionic form of ferrous ammonium sulfate or Morse salt, the active part is Fe+2. It acts as a reducing agent. KMnO4 acts as a oxidizing agent. OA means oxidizing agent. RA means reducing agent. So here we are doing that volumetric analysis, the titration. Titration we are doing. The titration is going on. KMnO4 versus Morse salt. The KMnO4 we are taking in burette and Morse salt we are taking in a conical flask. Morse salt we need to take in a conical flask. Okay. So in the Morse salt, the active part is ferrous sulfate. In that iron oxidation state is Fe+2. In KMnO4, the ionic form is MnO4 minus. This titration is also taking place in acidic medium. Taking place in a acidic medium. See the reaction. MnO4 minus reaction with Morse salt. The Morse salt, the active part is Fe+2 is converted into Fe+3. It is a reducing agent, ferrous sulfate in acidic medium. Okay, now in acidic medium MnO4 minus converted into Mn+2. MnO4 minus converted into Mn plus 2 and Fe plus 2 is converted into Fe plus 3. Fe plus 2 is converted into Fe plus 3. Now this is the skeleton equation. This equation we need to balance. Let's see by using oxidation number method. Here the oxidation state is plus 7 manganese and here Mn plus 2 iron plus 3. The oxidation state difference is how much man? This is 7 minus 2 is equal to 5. This oxidation number difference is 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. That's why this above equation we need to multiply with 5. This we need to multiply with 1. Means 5 moles of Fe plus 2 ferrous sulfate. How many moles of ferrous sulfate react with KMnO4? 1 mole of KMnO4 react with 5 moles of ferrous sulfate, forms 1 mole of Mn plus 2 ions and 5 moles of Fe plus 3 ions. And the next oxygen atoms we need to balance. 4 are present, then 8H2O. Sorry, 4H2O. 4 oxygen atoms more present, then I added 4 water molecules. Then 8 hydrogens extra came. That's why this side 8H plus. So how many acidic protons are present? 8H%. Now this is the balanced, the completely balanced equation. So 1 mole of KMnO4 react with how many moles of more salt or ferrous ammonium sulfate? 5 moles of ferrous ammonium sulfate. It is very, very important. Okay, students. See, in this reaction, KMnO4 acts as self-indicator. KMnO4 acts as a self-indicator. Now endpoint of this titration. How can we identify the endpoint? By seeing the color or physical change. Physical change means color will changes. How the color will changes? Colorless to pink color or pale pink color. Colorless to pale pink color. Okay. So this is about KMnO4 versus Morse salt. This is also called permanganometric titrations. Okay, this is about permanganometric titrations. Permanganometric titrations are 2 types. One is KMnO4 versus oxalic acid. The second one is KMnO4 versus Morse salt. Okay, students. Next, dichromatic titrations. The second one is dichromatic titrations. So dichromatic titration means potassium dichromate, K2Cr2O7, potassium dichromate. Dichromatic titrations. So dichromatic titrations taking place K2Cr2O7, potassium dichromate versus Morse salt. Already Morse salt, you know that what is Morse salt? Ferrous ammonium sulfate, FeSO4, NH4 twice SO4, 6H2O is known as Morse salt. Is known as a Morse salt. In that Morse salt ionic part is Fe plus 2. In that potassium dichromate ionic part is C2Cr2O7 2 minus. Cr2O7 2 minus. So now see the reaction. So this reaction is also taking place in acidic medium. Cr2O7 2 minus plus Fe plus 2 in acidic medium, it is converted into 2Cr3 plus, forms chromium in plus 6 state is converted into plus 3 state, and iron plus 2 is converted into plus 3. Iron plus 2 is converted into plus 3. Okay, students, now we need to balance this equation. Let's see, here total 2 chromium ions are there, each chromium oxidation state is plus 6, then the total charge is plus 12. So 6 plus 6. 12 units. Now it is 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Now what is the difference? The difference is 12 minus 6 is equal to 6. Now here iron plus 2 is converted to plus 3 means the difference in the oxidation numbers is equal to 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. That's why this equation we need to multiply with 6. This equation we need to multiply with 1. That's why 6 and 6 moles came. Means 1 mole of K2Cr2O7 react with 6 moles of ferrous sulfate or more salt. Okay, that is very clear. Now, remaining 7 oxygen atoms are present. That's why 7 H2O. We need to add. Then 14 H plus. In acidic medium, for balancing of hydrogen atoms, we need to add H plus ions. Now, this is the balanced equation. Okay. Let's see. In this reaction, indicator diphenyl amine. Diphenyl amine we are using as an indicator. Okay. Now end point. How to identify the end point? After addition of diphenyl amine, then immediately what happens, ma'am? The more salt converted into pale green color. Pale green color. This pale green color comes into violet color or bluish violet color or violet color will form. So in burette, we are taking K2Cr2O7 potassium dichromate solution. In conical flask, we are taking more salt. Okay. So the reaction is carried out in acidic medium. That's why in conical flask, we are adding 10 ml of dilute H2SO4. And what is the indicator we are using? Diphenyl amine. Diphenyl amine, DPA. First letters D, P, A. Diphenyl amine. Diphenyl amine we are using as indicator, then immediately the conical flask contains more salt turns to pale green color. So by the addition of K2Cr2O7 potassium dichromate dropwise slowly on shaking of the conical flask, then what happens? By the addition of K2Cr2O7 slowly dropwise with continuous stirring of the conical flask, then suddenly the pale green color turns into violet color. Then immediately we have to stop the burette nozzle. Then we have to count how much volume of K2Cr2O7 we are added. After that, stoichiometric coefficients. 1 mole of K2Cr2O7 react with 6 moles of ferrous sulfate or more salt. Then it is 1 and 6. N1 is equal to 1, N2 is equal to 6. Then the formula or principle, what is the principle is taking place for the find out the strength or molarity of K2Cr2O7. M1V1 by N1 is equal to M2V2 by N2. That formula we need to use. Then the strength of K2Cr2O7 we need to calculate by using that formula. Okay, so this type of titrations are called dichromatic titration. So in dichromatic titration, is taking place potassium dichromate versus more salt. Is taking place potassium dichromate versus more salt. Okay, so in that reaction, the indicator is diphenyl amine. End point means the physical appearance, how the color changes, pale green color to violet color. So this is second type of redox titrations. Now third one, iodine we are using as one of the titrant. Iodine solution. Iodine solution against with hypo. Hypo solution we know severe one. Hypo chemical name is sodium thiosulfate, Na2S2O3, sodium thiosulfate. Sodium thiosulfate is also known as hypo solution. What is the use of hypo solution? In earlier days in photography for developing of negative films are there in earlier days. Developing that film are negative, film they are dipping are developing in hypo solution. Then immediately what happens are the film contains silver bromide coating. Then it will be fixed on the film. Then the photo or image will be fixed on the negative. So developing of negatives, generally we are using the hypo solution. Hypo solution. So the hypo is important reducing agent. Hypo solution is important reducing agent. Iodine is the oxidizing agent. Iodine is a oxidizing agent. So oxidizing agent and reducing agent both are reacts. That's why it is called oxidation reduction titration or redox titration. So the third one is iodio, IODI, metric titration. See this titration, iodine solution versus hypo. Hypo solution means Na2S2O3. Na2S2O3. See, ID metric titration, iodine solution taking directly from potassium triiodide Ki3. So the iodine solution is taken directly from Ki3. Then Ki3 is converted into potassium iodide plus iodine solution. This iodine reacts with hypo solution. This hypo solution ion forming the S2O3 2 minus. S2O3 2 minus. When react with S2O3 2 minus forms I minus 2I minus. Then it react with converts S4 O6 4 minus. Sorry, S4 O6 2 minus. Here 2 moles we need to use. So 1 mole of iodine react with the 2 forms iodide ions and tetrathiosulfate ion. Means 4 sulfur S4 O6 2 minus ions will forms. See in this titration, the burette is filled with, this is retardation, the burette is filled with hypo solution. The burette is filled with hypo solution. Then in the conical flask we are taking iodine solution. Taking iodine solution, then we are adding starch indicator. Then what happens immediately? It forms blue color. Forms blue color. So by the addition of hypo solution dropwise, then the blue color will be disappears. So indicator is starch. Freshly prepared starch solution we are using as indicator. Then the end point forms blue color to colorless. The end point, how it will changes blue color to colorless. So this type of titrations are called iodometric titrations. In iodometric titration, directly iodine solution we are taking by using Ki3, potassium triiodide. See in iodometric titrations. Another one is iodometric titrations. In iodometric titration also, the iodine solution we are forming indirectly from the chemical reaction. Iodine solution is formed indirectly from the chemical reaction. For example, copper sulfate reacts with potassium iodide, forms Cu2Y2, cuprous iodide plus K2SO4, 2 moles of K2SO4 and releases iodine iodine solution. Okay. Now this iodine solution is titrated against with hypo. This iodine solution is titrated against with a hypo solution. Then the equation is same. I2 plus hypo solution ionic form S2O3 2 minus is converted into 2 moles of iodide ion and tetrathiosulfate ion SO4O6 2 minus. Now in this titration also the indicator is starch solution. What is the indicator Starch, freshly prepared starch solution we are using as indicator. Then the iodine solution at end point or at equivalent point, the iodine solution blue color turns into colorless. Blue color turns into colorless. The type of titrations are called iodometric titrations. What is the difference between iodometric and iodometric? In iodometric titrations, iodine solutions we are making indirectly from the chemical reactions. So iodine solution how we are making? Copper sulfate reacts with potassium iodide. Copper sulfate reacts with potassium iodide, forms iodine solution. That iodine solution is titrated against with hypo solution. Hypo solution chemical name is sodium thiosulfate. Na2S2O3. Its name is sodium thiosulfate. Sodium thiosulfate. It is a reducing agent. This is reducing agent. Iodine is oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent itself undergoes reduction. That's why oxidation state 0 is converted into -1. Oxidation state is decreased. In sulfur oxidation state in S2O3 2 minus 2 and here in average oxidation state of 4 sulfur atoms is 2.5. That's why oxidation number is increased. The reducing agent itself undergoes oxidation. In this reaction also indicator is what starch only. Don't confuse. In iodometric and iodometric titrations, the indicator when iodine used as one of the titrant, then the indicator, what is the indicator we are using? Starch solution. Whenever starch and iodine solution is present, then immediately means in iodine solution starch we are adding, then immediately what happens? Blue color will forms. Due to the presence of iodine, I2. When that I2 converted into I minus, immediately what happens? The blue color will be disappears and converted into colorless. Means end point. What is that end point? Blue color colorless. Okay, almost all completed from redox reactions chapter ma, and tomorrow we'll start new chapter, that is atomic structure. Everyone read atomic structure fundamentals.